Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much to everyone who is going to watch this live as it happens, but also thank you to everyone who is watching this after we've recorded it. Um, we really appreciate you tuning in and seeing these, and we really love all of your feedback. So I was just mentioning to people over on Instagram that I love hearing your stories and how long you've been using New. Any questions about um, where to find food or what food is best for your fish, just feel free to send us a message. You can leave it in the comments, or you can always contact us through the website, feedspectrum.com. We'll be happy to respond and get back with you. So, it's been a while, and maybe not that long, but I feel like it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks for me since I've done a Monday live stream, which there's good reasons for that. So 2 weeks ago, I went and did my advanced scuba certification. Sorry, I got distracted. What is this? Monday morning ridiculous hair. Anyway, 2 weeks ago, I did my advanced scuba certification. So now I am certified to go deeper. I can explore more coral reefs and see all those cool fish. So I'm very excited about that. And last weekend, for my own personal channel, Waterlogged, I was invited to Aquarium of the Pacific. I went back and did some behind the scenes filming with them, so I will be happy to let you guys know when those videos are available. It's very exciting. If you haven't been to Aquarium of the Pacific and you're on the West Coast, live there visiting, I highly recommend it. It's such a cool aquarium. What they're doing is amazing, and it's so much fun. So definitely check them out. Advanced diver, did you get the rescue? I haven't gotten rescue diver yet. Right now it's just funding. I wasn't originally going to go do rescue diver, but the instructor was telling me kind of about it, and I've been doing some research on it. And everyone who's done the rescue diving said that it was one of the best courses they took. So, every time I go diving, I love it. I didn't love the zero visibility when I went the last time, but I dive almost every day at work, and I love it. I can't get enough. I feel like maybe I was a fish in another life. Who knows? So, eventually we will get there. So a couple of things before we get to the main topic for this week. MACNA is coming up at the end of next month, and New Life Spectrum will be there. It's right in our backyard. So who am I going to see? Leave me a comment. Let me know if you're going to be there so we can look out for you. One of my favorite parts about this job is going to the trade shows. One, I love, there's so much to see and do, and so many people to talk to, but I also enjoy getting to meet all of you guys. So if you are going to be at that show or any other shows throughout the year, leave a comment, let me know. I want to know which ones you're going to. So actually before MACNA, Reefapalooza California is coming up August 17th and 18th. It's in Anaheim. We will be there as well. We don't have a booth, but I'll definitely be there walking around for sure on Saturday. So definitely, if you're going to be there, let me know. I'll be happy to come say hi. I don't know if I'm going to have samples with me or not, but who knows? Come find me. I'll probably have some stickers. Yeah. My hair, you guys. This is crazy. Okay, my favorite class was the rest. See, everybody says that about the rescue diver being one of the best classes. So maybe I just need to take that one. Yes. I feel like, Chris, I need to meet up with you before Anaheim so I can give you your sticker, and yeah, we're local. So yeah, Anaheim, it's the middle of August. And if you're going to Anaheim, tack on an extra day. Aquarium of the Pacific is 30 minutes away from there. Yep. I've got a whole calendar of all of the different shows, and it's on the phone, so I can't share it with you. But the two I know for sure that are going to be in August, Reefapalooza, California, Anaheim, and MACNA. So yes, let me know if you're going to those. Also, I'm trying to create swag, because who doesn't love getting swag when they go to the different shows, right? Like, swag is awesome. So if you go to shows and you get swag, let me know what kind of swag you would like to see at the New Life Spectrum booth. Right now I'm thinking about stickers, but never know. So, I see 3 of you have joined. Thanks to everybody who's on here. Feel free to chime in and chat. So this week's topic, mugs, right? So actually last year at MACNA, so Dang Cute Fish, who made this mug, we got her to make a yellow Tang sticker for us that had New Life Spectrum logo on it, and we turned that into a mug and we raffled that away. So okay, hey, thank you so much for joining. Mugs or bust. All right, I'll see what I can do. It's funny you should say mugs or bust. So originally, when I first started doing the aquariums and coffee talk with Frank, they were talking about making me a mug with like Frank's photo on it, so that I could just like have a Frank mug. But I think they were talking about that right about the same time I found this one on Dang Cute Fish's page. So yeah. All right, mugs or bust. I'll put a good word in for mugs. Somebody also mentioned, let's see if I have, I know I have one. I thought I did. They're those nifty little towels. Here we go. Let me put this down and not spill stuff. Somebody mentioned towels. I don't know. I've got to make sure that they're cost effective, that I can afford to bring these. But these handy dandy little towels, yeah, perfect for like feeding fish and then wiping your hands off. This one sits like right in my fish cleaning kit. Guys, I love these things. Maybe this is what I need to find, a cost-effective way to make towels and get like a New Life. Oh, that gives me a good idea. Maybe I'll go and get a bunch of towels, and then you're gonna have to come find me to get the towels. I like that. Anyway, here or there. So I keep getting distracted. My topic for this week is fish and fish jumping. Gosh, my hair is driving me crazy. So there are a lot, well, not a lot, but there's a good amount of species of fish who are notorious for jumping out of tanks. Feel free to chime in with your favorites. I know some of you guys were chiming in before, and I appreciate that. So we're gonna go over it again. Gobies. As far as marine tanks go, I feel like gobies are some of the most notorious jumping fish ever. Yes, got tired of finding fish jerky in the mornings. So yes, gobies. Actually, my little innovative marine nano tank, I knew I was putting a goby in it, so when, like, even before I got it, the lid, net lid on the top was an absolute must, and I haven't had any issues. So I've got that net, which is great. Another type of fish, wrasses, can be very skittish and get scared easily and can be jumpers. I've heard people say clownfish are jumpers, and I would absolutely agree. My clownfish I had in this tank, who's now still in quarantine, she now is an absolute jumper. Like, I'd find him trying to jump out all the time. So definitely any tank that clownfish are in, I'd recommend a net. As far as freshwater tanks go, guppies can be jumpers, like swordfish. Yes, firefish are a good one. Hawkfish are another good one. I used to have my freshwater tanks, I had hatchetfish. They're kind of funny looking fish. They've got like, they're really flat on the top and they have a big kind of rounded belly. And for as odd of shaped fish as they were, man, I'm telling you, the one that I used to have, I had a very small, like, it was a 10-gallon tank with a hang-on back filter, and the lid was like, it almost butted up to the edge of that filter. So it amazed me that fish would find a way to jump out of that hole on a very, very regular basis. So Hatchetfish are notorious for jumping. Archerfish, yes, they do jump sometimes. I don't know. I haven't ever had swordfish jump, but a lot of people, when I was like doing some research for this, was saying that their swordfish and like mollies and platies would jump a lot. So I think the reasons fish jump a lot of times are aggression, being chased, being afraid, or scared. So I feel like, I could be wrong, I feel like a lot of tanks that have like platies and mollies, swordtails like that, personally in my experience that I've seen, tend to be a little bit on the overstocked side. So it could be like fish aggression, that fish are like chasing each other, fish are scared, and that's why they're jumping. So there's that. So one thing that you can do to combat that is make sure that you've got a lot of, rockscape or plants or, little places for them to hide. So you can see, I don't have any coral in my tank. I couldn't anyway because of Frank, but I've got like tons of rock work going on. I've got all sorts of like little shells down here, big shells, tons of places for animals to hide in this tank. So, they don't, like if they get scared, there's a place that they can go and be away. Let's see what's yes, red-tailed shark jumped out. Yeah, it amazes me. It amazes me how when they jump out, they find that like little teeny tiny hole and are able to get out. I mentioned before, I've seen Frank jump like once or twice, and his jumping actually alerted me that something was wrong. So we had come into the room and I saw Frank kind of being weird at the top of the tank. More than like when he's hungry, he'll kind of like his little horns will like bob out of the water, but it wasn't like that. Like he was actively propelling himself out of the water, and I'm like, that's weird. And I checked the power strip, and come to find out the skimmer pump had a short on it, and it was throwing off all sorts of electrical currents in the tank, and poor Frank and everybody else in the tank was getting shocked. Like, it might seem silly, but if you've ever like gotten shocked before, you're like, oh, and it's you jump, and that's what they were doing. So that was fish alerting me to what was wrong. Right. Let's see. So I think if you've seen any of these other live streams, you might have seen the inside of my tank. So I talked about having my little nano tank has the the lid inside it with the mesh on top. You can buy those, I think, what would you say, Chris? Red Sea? Yeah. Red Sea is the one they make them. You can custom fit them to the size of your tank. You can also, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on it, this is my quarantine tank. I think I've showed it to you before. So this is just like screen mesh. A lot of front doors and stuff have this stuff on them. You can get it at like garden stores or like Home Depot, stuff like that. Okay, or BRS has kits to make mesh tops. Yes, thank you. So this can be a very inexpensive way. My BioCube, when I got it, the tank was given to me. It didn't have a lid. So I just pushed that mesh on top of it because my clownfish is in there for quarantine and taped down. I don't want him jumping out. Another thing, so let's see if I can have to adjust this as I talk. So this tank has a canopy on it, but some of like little 10-gallon tanks that you buy, that's not gonna stay. Let's see. So some of the 10-gallon tanks you buy have the plastic lids on them. Those are great. So this used to house my clownfish, who, like I said, was a jumper. I don't know if you can see in the back here, I've got some like netting. It's just like stapled to the back of the cannon because it's straight open in the back. And I picked that stuff up at like a craft store, and it works really great. The holes are fairly large, but it's gonna keep, it kept my clownfish, and it should keep most of the gobies. Frank's like, is it time to eat? It should keep most of the jumping fish in the tank as a fail-safe. So that's something else that you can use to keep your fish in the aquarium. All right. He does. Now, I kind of feel bad. I feel like I need to feed him. I wasn't planning on feeding him this morning. You got a really big dinner last night. Dude, no spitting during the show. We talked about this. Come on, buddy. you can see all of like the Salt Creek watermarks all over. Good Lord. All right, so that's a wrap up of jumping fish. If you are watching this after we've taped it, if you've had fish jump, tell me about your fish that jumped. Hopefully you saved them and were able to get them back before they turned into fish chips, or what are they? Carpet jerky, as I've heard them called. We never want fish to jump out. It's very sad. Another type of fish that might jump if you've got a schooling fish. Schooling fish can get freaked out really easily and they might jump. So that's another one to look for. I mentioned the other day I was walking by one of the tanks at work and I saw a little Talbot's damsel. I don't know how he got up there because we have it's like a good 1.5 to 2 inch rim around the top of the tank, and I walked by. I'm like, no, buddy, get back in the water. That's weird what I say. I don't feed my cowfish. Oh gosh. So Frank, have I showed you guys the big hermit crab that's in here? Frank, let's see if I can tilt this down. So you can see right here, this hermit crab is massive. He's almost, like in his shell, he's almost the same size as Frank is. And Frank, I find him all the time trying to steal food from this hermit crab. Like it's out of control. So yes, Frank steals food from everyone. It is so frustrating to lose fish from jumping. Actually, I've got a friend that had a shark, and he was telling me that one time, like, he was really, really lucky he woke up that, like, he had this, when she was still a baby, that, like, she got spooked or something and ended up jumping out of the tank. And, yeah. So he was lucky he ended up finding her before anything bad happened. But, yeah, it's terrible to lose fish from jumping. Like, especially, I don't know, I love wrasses, but I don't know that I would ever keep a wrasse at home because they do jump, and like, they're so pretty. It makes me so sad when I see them that they've hopped out of the tank. So, do you want food, Frank? You guys, I'm a sucker. Frank gets breakfast. Oh no, that's so sad. At the shop. What shop? Let me go break. What shop was that, Chris? So, Frank got his breakfast. Oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. So I was telling Instagram peeps that, so on my personal page, it's called Waterlogged. I like to feature, sometimes it gets a little bit more sciencey. It's all sorts of, water-related anything. Like yesterday I posted a video of my pig rolling around in the mud, or taking a mud bath. But earlier this week, there was a new species of fairy wrasse discovered off the eastern coast of Africa, and it was discovered at a pretty deep depth, so like from like 160 feet to like 240 feet, so fairly deep. But it's a new fairy wrasse. It's the Vibranium fairy wrasse, or the Wakanda fairy wrasse. And if you're familiar with any of the Marvel movies recently, or you've seen the Black Panther movie, yes, it is named after Wakanda. Their reasoning for that is they're trying to make taxonomy fun again, and they want to inspire people, a new generation of people, to get back into taxonomy. So that's pretty exciting. The fairy wrasse, it's not super vibrant. Actually, I posted a photo of it on our Instagram page last Wednesday, so go back and look at that fish. Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting fish. It's very cool, but like Chris, you and I were talking earlier about how it probably won't be available in the aquarium trade only because it comes from so deep and they're very rare fish. They've been looking for this fish. They didn't know it existed, but they hoped evolutionary wise, like they really hoped that there was a bridge between, they were looking for a species that bridged the gap between two species in the area, and they found it in this wrasse. So that's pretty exciting. Hey, thanks for joining this morning. Hopefully you've had a good 2 weeks. So my other cool fish aquarium science thing that happened in the last week, 2 weeks, there's a girl or a lady in Australia, I believe, that did a study on clownfish eggs and artificial light. So she found that clownfish eggs will not hatch if there is artificial light at night. Now, it seems a little silly, but if you think about all of the coastal towns that, like the large populations and like ecotourism, when it comes to being around coral reefs and all the people that visit, there's a lot of light pollution that's associated with that. And as such, at night, some of those clownfish eggs aren't hatching because they've been exposed to that artificial light. So, yeah, so that's just something interesting. I've got to follow back up with her and see how, like, say you've got like an AI or a Radion or whatever, and you've got moonlighting on your tank at night. I'm curious to see if she knows anything about how that will affect them. So, yep. If you're curious, if you want to see or like read that whole study, the Instagram page for Waterlogged is at waterlogged, all one word, 1313, and you can read more about that article there. It's pretty interesting work. All right, guys. Well, I think that's a wrap for everything I had to talk to you about this week. Now I got caught up. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions about any of our foods, feel free to drop a comment below. Send us a message. You can send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Go through the website. I'll be happy to help you find the right food for your fish. You name it, I'd be happy to help you answer your questions. Also, let me know what kind of swag you want to see at the shows and what shows you're going to. I can't wait to meet some of you guys at Reefapalooza. Reefapalooza and MACNA this year and other to be determined shows. So, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you next Monday at 8 a.m.